Today, we're going to look at the Robinhood IPO for 2021. According to payments.com, Robinhood marches on with the IPO despite trading debacle. I'll be honest with you guys, this IPO might not happen anytime soon while the company's going through litigation. But then again, the CEO might rush an S1 real quick through the SEC just to show that he's got nothing to hide as far as Robinhood finances. So still, we are going to look at what we know. So if you want to learn more about the company and need help deciding if you should buy or pass, stay tuned. What's going on, investors? My name is Jose and welcome back to Rico Suave IPOs, the best place to learn about new companies going public and how to invest in them. Today, we're going to look at the Robinhood IPO. According to Business of Apps, founded in 2013, Robinhood has over 13 million users. Their revenue for Q2 2020 was $180 million, and their valuation was around $20 billion in May of 2020. Robinhood is a small fish in a big pond when compared to other brokers and the amount of assets that they manage. According to payments.com, Robinhood is moving forward with an IPO this year despite the GameStop scandal. Bloomberg reports that they will either pursue a direct listing or a SPAC, but not a traditional IPO. This is good news for us as retail investors. This way we should get a better price and not an inflated IPO price. Robinhood just raised $2.4 billion in a funding round led by Ribbit Capital after raising $1 billion from current investors last week, following a trading frenzy that prompted the fintech startup to halt trading on GameStop and other stocks. The move triggered an uproar from its customer base and Wall Street. The debacle did not affect Robinhood's allure though. Its app was downloaded more than 1 million times last week alone. According to CNBC, venture capitalists were willing to write Robinhood a $3 billion check during the chaos. Apparently people were downloading their app to buy into these stocks that were flying up in price, while all investors like you and I, we were pissed that they put restrictions on trading and we were looking at leaving the platform. I kept a few bucks in my Robinhood account just for spec plays. Here's a short 2-minute video from CNBC that explains the challenges Robinhood is facing during this IPO. But before that, a quick shout out to my patrons. Your generosity and contributions allow me to do what I love to do and keep the channel growing, so thank you. If you want to become a patron, there's a link in the description.
I would say we could go back only as far as a week and a half ago, and Robinhood was set to be one of the most hotly anticipated IPOs of the year. It was reportedly seeking a valuation of about $20 billion, had hired its lead underwriter. Now there's a lot more questions about the state of its IPO, what that valuation might look like, how things have really changed since all of this GameStop frenzy has kind of come into the forefront, with Robinhood being really at the center of the whole thing. They've got regulatory challenges, they've got legal challenges, they've got political challenges, and they have customer challenges, the user challenges, I should say. The people who use their site to trade have been publicly calling for boycotts. They've been signing on to class action suits. There's been this massive backlash on a multitude of fronts. All of those things could affect the business in the long term. All of those things would weigh on a valuation potentially, and it's something that investors would be very keen to talk about with the CEO. It hasn't actually been that capital intensive of a business model, but when you do have such high volatility in a select pocket of the market, it requires Robinhood to have a lot more cash on hand in order to meet its regulatory obligations and make sure that it can stay afloat as a business essentially. And so what it's done is it's drawn down on credit lines, it's raised additional equity in order to really bulk up its ability to have a solvent balance sheet and be able to post that collateral in order to ensure that the users can trade on their platform. CEO Vlad Tenev, he came on our air and he said, yes, we need cash. No, it's not a liquidity issue. He said over and over again that they don't have a liquidity issue. Now, what's really going on behind the scenes, I'm not exactly sure with regard to their balance sheet. None of that is public information, but it's clear that this company is trying to raise cash, and billions and billions and billions of dollars in cash from every which way. So from that standpoint, an IPO would actually be one of the best things they could possibly do because it's a fundraising event at the end of the day. It's a way to raise money from investors. And then once you're public, you can keep going back to the public markets to raise more and more money from investors. The problem is actually getting over that hump of getting public. And of course, in doing a traditional IPO, you have to sit, and these days it's over Zoom, but you sit alongside or at the other end of the table from investors, and you're oftentimes asked some pretty tough questions.
As you can see, Robinhood went from the most anticipated IPO to the most hated company in 2021. The people do not trust the platform as much as they used to. The CEO said that they need cash. Then he said that there's not a liquidity issue. Which one is it, Vlad? I can't wait to see their balance sheet when they finally file for their IPO. If it's a liquidity issue, an IPO would definitely help with that. Whether we like it or not, guys, a lot of people are going to buy shares of the company. Right now, as it stands, they have over 30 civil lawsuits. Since then, Robinhood has lifted all trading restrictions, but the damage is already done. As of today, Robinhood Markets Inc. have not filed an S-1 to go public yet with the SEC. Guys, that is all we know right now, but how much will you pay for a share of Robinhood? Let me know in the comments below. I will be buying some shares of Robinhood even though they are frustrating at times. Of course, guys, this is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice or investing advice. So make sure you do your own due diligence and your own research, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, guys, if you like this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. But more important than that, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I'll see you soon.
I bring up the pain, Rico solves the mind. I make the market rain like acid rain. An investing channel you ever known, ya. I think you'll build your house, your money, leave you broke, son.